Hey, gang, welcome to Ross and Nez. I'm Ross. That other guy is Nez. And there's so much going on in social media this week. We're going to talk all about what's going on with the Twitter verification controversy and, of course, the new Facebook creator app. We got some great guests joining us. Jennifer Quinn will be along in a little bit, and Stephanie Liu. And also, Carlos Phoenix has a new app that he's going to pitch to us. But before I say a formal hello and welcome to our good friend Nez, what it's like working with this guy? I mean,
be nice.
Now we're kind of spontaneous with our live streams, but we did agree that we were going to go live at 8:00 tonight Eastern, 5:00 Pacific, and so we go live. We're getting ready to go live, right? And Nez is like, "Wait, can we do 7:00? I need to get. I got some other things to do." I'm like, "I don't know. I'm kind of busy right now." Next thing I know, he's messaging me. How about 6:00? Can we go? Can we go live at 6:00? I'm like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Well, it's a spontaneous live stream anyway. I mean, we're not. So why not?" And
why would we plan it if it's spontaneous? Why the hell would we plan it?
Right. And so then I responded with some 4-letter words that wait, things like that, of course. And then I get back from him. I planned it and a bunch of things that make no sense. After I said, why don't we just go, if 8:00, whatever, why don't we just go live tomorrow? Why don't we just do, because Nez is clearly saying we're open to moving things around. And next thing I know, I get a message back from him that it's planned. So what the heck was going on?
Well, no, you forgot to mention that I said babe in there. And then as Ross has about 75 panic attacks, he's like, "Babe, what the hell are you talking about? Hey, wait a minute. We need to
I thought that maybe you just say that when you're pissed or something, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to move it up. I didn't want to move it up 2 hours on the spot. I'm sorry."
It was so weird. So I was with a client, and
right.
For some reason, I mean, maybe because today's just been this massive fog. I've been up since 6 a.m. I had 2 morning business classes, and anyway, and for some reason I thought he was my wife. I thought he was my wife. How could you misplace Ross Brand for your wife?
I don't look
you
anything like your wife.
I know we're a good partnership, but that's taking it one step too far. So
I think it's more than one step too far. I think your wife wouldn't be very happy if you kept making that.
No, she'd be miserable. She'd leave the country. That's what she'd do. But anyway, so I couldn't believe. I was like, no, because I'm so excited about this show, everybody. I am so pumped to be doing this with the mayor of live streaming, Mr. Ross Brand. And, I got to be honest with you, Ross, there was a little piece of my heart that was really torn to shreds when I
said tomorrow.
Yeah. And I thought it was my wife. So I'm like, babe, I know the show's planned, because I thought my wife was saying, do you want to hang out and do your show tomorrow and hang out with me, your wife? Right. Because she's been knowing. That's why I got it mistaken, because she says that phrase. It was that keyword phrase. When you're a content creator, keyword phrases just stick in your brain. So I
I haven't even decided whether I like working with you yet, and all of a sudden you're calling me babe in a tweet or a message or whatever. I'm like,
I don't blame you.
What's going on here? What's going on here? And all of a sudden you're telling me it's planned when you meant to tell your wife that doing a show tonight was planned. And I'm thinking,
what do you got to do? What are you making waffles tonight? What do you got to do?
You just moved it from 8 to 7, 7 to 6. I suggest tomorrow. And you're like, it's planned. But okay, that was for your wife. That's your one.
Ross has to. What do you?
When you want to move it, it's a spontaneous show
or something.
Yeah, when you want to move it, it's a spontaneous show. When I want to move it, it was planned.
Yeah. Did you have to, did you have to move around your schedule today? Did you have some deep sea diving to do?
Extremely stressful. Clearing out the 7 o'clock hour and then the 6 o'clock hour because 6 and 7 on Friday nights are when I start really getting into work. So
yeah, that's obvious. So yeah, that was an experience. And then when I finally realized it, and you could just see the look on Ross's face when I finally realized, oh no, that wasn't my wife. That was Ross. Ross is like, what in the world is going on here? It could have been the end of the beginning of the beginning of the end. That's what it could have been. Our show might have been canceled right there, just on that.
We're here. So as weird as that was, there's also this Twitter verification thing going on that's a little bit strange too. I guess apparently Twitter verified a couple of white supremacists, neo-Nazi sympathizers, whatever. A couple of the guys who were leaders in that sort of in the troubles. That's like they say on the news when they don't want to actually.
What the hell are you trying to say right now?
In Charlottesville, Virginia, there was some trouble, and a couple of the guys who were responsible, at least for the event happening, were verified. And so Twitter's trying to figure out what to do about verification because basically they verified people that they thought people wanted to know. Like, we're well known enough that we want to make it clear that these people are who they say they are, that they're not impersonation accounts. But where do you draw the line amongst recognizable names or public figures or journalists or whatever people want to call themselves, or can you draw a line? So that's kind of the issue that they're struggling with.
I think you first have to decide, is Twitter verification really what it's all cracked up to be? I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Ross?
What's it cracked up to be?
People, I wonder, that's a good question. I mean, I think besides people like us, who are in the kind of social media arena almost every day, I mean, let's be honest, and our businesses function there, our communication, our content creation.
Right.
I don't know how much Twitter verification, it's just that blue check mark, right? I don't know how much weight that really carries to people who aren't aware of or aren't really in that social media world. Does that make sense? I don't know how much. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, like, a lot of.
Is it recognizable globally? I mean, do people who are not, marketers or digital marketers, do they recognize it as something worth something?
I think if nothing else, it's to help journalists and media and stuff like that identify before they run with a tweet as, this actor responded to, the movie hitting #1 by quoting the wrong Tom Hanks or whatever, right? So, I mean, I think there's a point to it in that because so many journalists spend almost all day on Twitter, right? Like they're looking for news, they're sharing. Like Twitter is a rich source of. You don't have to be able to get the guy on the phone or the woman on the phone to get a quote from them any longer, right? If you can't get them, but they're tweeting, okay, now you've got something in the public domain that you can put in your story to show their reaction. So I think it has value in that. It probably has value to fans of an artist or a celebrity or somebody like that, or people who want to know, okay, did that tweet come from GE the company or G. Smith the musician, or
did that really come from Ross Brand, or is Professor Nez impersonating Ross Brand?
Probably.
Speaking on his behalf.
If you like the tweet, it came from me. If not, let's.
If it sounded crummy, it probably came from Nez.
Yeah, come on, it's just too hard on yourself.
Never. But I mean, I don't know. I think Twitter itself as a platform. Don't get me wrong. I dig it, and I dig especially Twitter video. This is the live stream experience, and I love Periscope. I started on Periscope, but I don't know if this is really, again, if you're a public figure, yes, if you're a celebrity and you're a very high profile brand, absolutely you want that kind of recognition. But these people who are like, they're using it as a status symbol, or they're using it as this sort of, this carte blanche, like, look at me, I've got my Twitter blue check mark. like somebody's like white nationalist.
I got my blue check mark. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much, it seemed like this dude, what was his name? Jesse something. What was his name? The dude.
Oh.
Who knows? Who cares anyway? But I mean,
was it Kessler or Kessler?
Kessler. I don't know. I mean, he was a schmuck. Let's just call him a schmuck. And you know, this guy wanted it to be this sort of kind of this, you know, have this kind of, you know, veneer, right? So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this Twitter verification controversy? I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I do know, though, that a lot of people got their Twitter checkmark taken away because they have these new guidelines, and Twitter kind of panicked. You know, Twitter sort of panicked, I feel like, right?
Well, the thing is, like, how do you draw the line on this, right? Like, okay, so you say anybody who ever tweets something hateful. Well, what if a well-known extremist never tweets something hateful? Do they get the blue check mark? Or what if somebody who's I don't know, the Secretary of State tweets something that's threatening to North Korea or whatever? Should they lose their check?
Something in the guideline. There's something in the guideline: incite hate or incite to do harm or incite physical aggression or something like that. It's some kind of narcotizing language that they always put in there.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the line. I mean, they've basically, you know, obliterated all submissions right now, and they've stopped the whole verification submission process, right? And for people who don't know, you know, the blue checkmark verification used to only be for exclusively public figures and celebrities, right, Ross? And then it got open to the public.
And then now social media personalities who understand how to kind of game the system are able to figure out, okay, if I send this or I get myself a few more followers or whatever. I mean,
but if everybody's on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, who cares? I don't know.
Right. Let's bring in JennyQ and see what she thinks.
Yeah, I would love to have JennyQ in here. Where is she?
JennyQ is right here. She was the very first. She was the very first guest on Livestream Stars, and so she has to be the very first guest on Ross and Nez, or it just wouldn't be right.
She was one of my early guests on Nez Nation too. Don't forget, she was one of the very few first guests. Very few. What does that even mean? She was one of the very few guests on Nez Nation. That actually might be true. But she was one of the early guests. I think the third or fourth guest on my show too.
That's not quite the first, though, is it?
It's not quite the first.
He feels insulted.
You were the first real guest. Let's put it that way. I just basically burned 4 bridges.
The other guests were fake.
You were the only one that mattered.
The show didn't really start until JennyQ came on. Before that, it was like episode -001, -002. So this is the book. I can never hold something like correctly in front of the camera, but it's Leverage Live Streaming to build your brand, and it's start, master, and monetize live video with insider tips and tricks. There's some great comments on the back, great reviews. It's a fantastic book. Tell everybody real quick, about the book, and congratulations, because the book went to #1 on Amazon for webcasts and podcasts in that category, which is amazing.
Thank you for that introduction. First of all, I'm super excited to be on your show. I have listened to your podcast and watched an episode or two. How many have you done? No, I'm like, wait, have I seen two?
We're right now at this will be our third one, actually.
Okay, so that makes sense then. But the thing is, you guys
we'll give you credit for watching this one too.
I'm surprised you watched it at all. No, I'm kidding.
But the thing is, you guys are a lot of fun, and I dig fun. So when Ross sent me a message and said, "Hey, can you hop on this spontaneously scheduled show?" I said, "Yeah," because you caught me right in time. You know, it's not even 7:00 here in Boise, Idaho. So you caught me just as I'm finishing work, just before I'm going out. So it was perfect. So I'm excited to be on. And the book is actually an instructional guide for people who want to live stream for business. And that's very different. Like anyone can live stream and have fun, right? And just hop on and do whatever you want. But if you want to build your brand and jump on with authority and credibility, that's who the book was written for.
Awesome. Now, do you have any thoughts on this Twitter verification thing? Like, are you staying up all night wondering
what are
how
your thoughts,
you're going to...
Jenny? Tell us your thoughts.
Your blue check mark. Are you
have a blue check mark, Jenny?
I don't have a blue check mark.
Well, that invalidates the whole thing.
I mean, the whole process.
I'll see you. Bye. I know. So here's the thing:
if a #1 best-selling Amazon author doesn't have a blue check mark, the whole thing is a joke. Just shut it down. Sorry. What do you think about this whole Twitter verification controversy?
I think it was just a matter of time before it happened. I don't know how. I mean, the verification check mark is only there, from my understanding, to verify that that's a real person behind the profile and that's the person who says that they are. Now it looks like people are saying Twitter is endorsing someone's opinions if they give them a blue verification check mark. That was only a matter of time until someone said that, and I'm surprised actually that it took this long.
Yeah. And I don't think that, #1, those guys were hiding who they were, and #2, I never thought that a check mark was an endorsement. I mean, there are plenty of scoundrels that have check marks.
That means I should have one then.
Yeah, well, I thought you had one.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so there aren't
this scoundrel.
They don't have any scoundrels. There aren't any scoundrels.
This is one scoundrel that doesn't have one.
So, did you try out that new app, the new Facebook Creator app?
I did. I have to tell you. So I downloaded the app and I've gone to facebook.com/creators, which is where you go to join. And so I did that and I've played with it. I did my own private test on it. And my favorite feature so far is just the front-facing light. Because it's all about the lighting.
It's all about the lighting.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to really dive deep into it, but I'm excited. I did read what Facebook has written about it and what the plans are. They have plans to monetize, allow creators to monetize. Ooh. You could do pre-roll and ads and mid-rolls, and like I haven't been able to dig that deep to see if those features are actually available today or if they're rolling out. But it's very exciting that Facebook is offering these things. Some of the other live streaming platforms definitely are already on that, train with monetization. And so, it's a smart move for Facebook to do that as well.
That was a lot of rolls in there. Can you do foam rolls?
Don't tell my trainer, but I haven't done foam rolling yet today, so I really should.
Get him on the phone. Get him on the phone. We're calling her out.
Hello, Glenn. When I remind him about his prediction for 2018, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he going to do one?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
Wait, so is Facebook Creator, Jenny? I'm really curious about this. Is this something that any creator, or what's the criteria? Do you know?
I think it's being rolled out to everyone. That's my understanding.
Rolled out to everyone. That's so cool because this is brand spanking new.
Because it used to be just for verified. There we go with verification again.
Oh my God!
Here we go again. Celebrities, yeah, but now I believe that it's out there for everyone.
That's smart.
And so you have to sign up through the browser first?
No, the app.
The browser first. Facebook.com/creators.
Okay, because I went to the app and couldn't find. I went to the iTunes store or whatever and couldn't find it.
Yeah, so when you go,
it shows the amount of research I did for this discussion.
I love it.
We had a couple analysts, but they're sick. Yeah.
It's spontaneous. So
spontaneous.
Yes.
A little too spontaneous.
So it's facebook.com/creators, and then you'll scroll over to the upper right-hand corner. It says join. That takes you through a really simple process. And then there's a lot of different features that they're going to be rolling out. You can share to Twitter. You can share to Instagram. Wow. And then as you go through that process, at the end, it says, okay, now you've been accepted into the community. Now download the app.
But anybody could be accepted. There's no not getting accepted as far as you know.
Well, there could be a Facebook Creator app controversy soon. I don't know.
There could be a verification controversy.
I see what you think. You brought it all the way around from our opening conversation.
There you go. That's why she's JennyQ, folks.
That's Jennifer Quinn. Thank you so much for joining us and for the wonderful review on iTunes and all your support. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
love
thank
what
you,
guys
Jenny.
are doing. Keep having fun and sharing info.
You're awesome.
Thanks so much.
You rock.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
All right. So let's bring in Stephanie Liu and see what she thought, because I know Stephanie did a video today, and so she's really been checking it out, and I know that she loved it and is going to use it every minute of the day. No, actually, I probably didn't watch the right part of the video. Stephanie, welcome. Great to see you. What did you think of it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no audio.
We don't have audio. We don't have audio.
Okay. So you can check your settings, which he's probably doing, and meanwhile,
I think this Facebook creator app thing, Ross, I think this is a direct rebuke to YouTube. They're going right out. They're going right for the gullet, right? Because YouTube creator, even the name, this is just what Facebook does, right?
Right.
Is she back?
I don't know my agenda. There she is.
Perfect.
Okay.
Hey, Candy. Hey, Jennifer. Hey.
Are we good to go?
See you guys.
Oh, we can hear you. We have audio.
We have voice. We have Stephanie's voice.
So it's the great Stephanie Liu, an outstanding live streamer, and you did a video today, and you showed everybody a little bit about the app and your impressions, and you were saying that you thought it was...
I think it's very similar to the Page Manager app. So as a social media manager that manages multiple Facebook pages, when I opened up the Creator app, I was hoping to get my hands on the intro, outro video, the creative live kit that was being hyped up on TechCrunch and all of that stuff. And it looked so similar to the Page Manager app. So I was a little underwhelmed, to be honest. Yeah.
What is the Stephanie? By the way, Stephanie, nice to meet you. I am Professor Nez. I love your work. Good to have you on the show.
My bad. I should have been.
You know what I love about Stephanie? Stephanie, I love your presentation. Your whole aesthetic on your show. I got to give you such kudos. Being a live stream nut job that I am, and how much I love this whole medium, and that you're representing so well. Just awesome job. Kudos right off the top of the bat. But
thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. So what is that Creator Live kit? Because I'm really curious. I think this is this could be bigger than we even maybe can anticipate. What's that all about?
The Creative Live Kit is supposed to have these functionalities where, just as you would with a third-party platform, you could have an intro video, you could have your outro video, you could design it and brand it in a way that's very custom to your brand. And so that's what I was super excited about.
Wow.
When you were going through the video, had any of the people watching the video tried it yet, or was it like the first that everybody was seeing it?
It was actually, some folks tried to download it, but for some reason it was still showing up as a Facebook Mentions app in the iTunes store. And it was doing that for me all last night too. But what I found that I had to do, Professor Nez and Ross, was that I had to update my phone to the new iOS. And as soon as I did that, then it renamed it from Mentions to the Creator app.
Oh, okay.
Man, it's a killer. The game is changing every single day. It's amazing. And just these companies are going at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you thinking that you're going to use it much, or are you thinking it's just really kind of duplicating what you already have at this point?
I would say the only big difference that the Creator app has over the Page Manager app is that you could do stories now on your business page. So that was the big key takeaway for me. But it was interesting because you guys, once I did the story for my business page, I didn't know where it went. I went to my Facebook Messenger app and then I couldn't find my business page. And the only way I was able to find it was on my desktop. So I don't know how that works out for you guys. Maybe if you open up your Messenger, Ross, we're connected that way. Let me know if you see my business page on there, because I'd be really curious to see what the distribution is like.
Yeah, let me try it right now while we're talking. Professor, you take over the discussion.
Yeah, I just it's and Jennifer has a really great question actually. Jennifer Quinn's in the chat, and she has a really cool question. She says, "Do you think it will be?" Hold on, I'm old, Stephanie. I got to put on my glasses. Do you think it will? You know, it's so funny. I can literally remember the moment it started. Like, I never needed my glasses my entire life, right? And I'm going to be 41 in December 27th, by the way, because Capricorn's a rule.
Okay.
But, Stephanie's
I'm
okay,
December 10th. I was like, I'm December 10th.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So is that Capricorn? I can't.
Sagittarius.
Okay. We'll give you a pass, Sagittarius. That's okay. No, but you know, it's so funny. I remember the day I was like, it was like one of those moments. Ross, do you need glasses to see your phone? Stephanie probably doesn't.
No, I have contacts.
Well, to be honest with you guys, I used to wear contacts when I was a lot younger. My prescription was -8. Oh, so my eyesight was really, really bad. And it wasn't until 5 years ago that I had LASIK eye surgery. So I'm good now.
Wow. What do you think of that? I've heard of that. I've heard good things.
It's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. Yeah. It was probably a 5-minute procedure. Really? I opened my eyes and I was able to see. I was able to see across the room. Yeah. It's incredible.
Your window's closing, Nez.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Like, at a certain point, they don't do it anymore because, like, you get that farsighted thing, and so I don't know. You know,
I was for some reason I thought you were using that as a metaphor for my life.
No, no. There's like an age range in which they do it.
To a moment.
Listen. I know, because I asked when it first started, like, my eye doctor was like, there hasn't been enough experience with this yet. Like, I don't recommend you doing it. And then I guess many years later, I came back. I'm like, maybe I'm just curious. I didn't really want. He's like, nah, you're too old now.
Oh my goodness! It's like this is that time where everything's starting to shift. You know, the age thing is becoming a big deal. But anyway, thank you, by the way, Stephanie. LASIK surgery, I'll look into that. So Jennifer says, do you think it will become, and she's talking about Facebook Creator, do you think it will become more robust? Yeah, thank you, Ross. Will it become more robust over time? Question for Stephanie.
Oh, absolutely. I think they've already seen what's happening in the social media landscape. You were just talking about YouTube Creator. I just had Joanne Pham on Lights Camera Live yesterday, and she was telling me everything about Periscope. And I think there's a lot of things that they could do to go ahead and help content creators make their content really stand out. Like, you know, I'm thinking eventually the smartphones will have 360 on there. I could live stream in 360 without having an attachment on there. You see a big, huge push for virtual reality. So I think down the line, there's going to be some improvements to it. Right now, I think with just this new announcement was something new is happening and it's going to be coming down the pipeline. But for those of us that have been live streaming for quite some time now, it's like, oh, okay. We're just getting new attention.
I can't wait to pay attention, Stephanie, because I know you're going to be doing some great things with it. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Do you have anything that you want to share with the RossandNez audience that you're up to right now, or anything that you want to kind of talk about or discuss really quickly?
You know, I heard that there's this new podcast by RossandNez, and it's doing really amazing. It's getting some fan-freaking-tastic reviews. So for those of you, I think you should go ahead and pop in your earbuds, take a listen, write a review, because we need more entertainment like that.
Stephanie, the check's in the mail. The check's in the mail, Stephanie.
Something new every time Stephanie comes on the show.
You're awesome. You are awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your
wonderful Thanksgiving, Stephanie, and you too, Jennifer Quinn. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
She's awesome.
She is. She's amazing.
She's such a sweetheart, and she's like that on her show too. So genuine. Too.
She's so on top of what's going on with live streaming, and like her approach is so professional in how she does her notes and she does her links and everything, just really organized. And I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be like that.
I think we should all. I want her to mentor my daughter. I want to say hi to Miriam. Miriam Danishvar is in the house. Jennifer, I hope you're still here. Candy, good to see you guys. Hey, you guys, share this out if you will, because you know, RossandNez, we always have a ball, and we're talking about some cool stuff. Sharing is caring. So if you wouldn't mind, give this a share. We would love it. And by the way, Ross, do you want to tell them, since Stephanie had such a beautiful segue, do you want to tell them where they can go to find our podcast?
They can go to RossandNez.com/iTunes and find it. It's only $9.95 this week, but it goes up next. No, it's absolutely
wait, there's
free.
more. If you want to buy now, if you call in now, you get 2 for free.
Yes, you get a bonus episode. I'll
throw in a toaster.
Last year's interviews.
Ross and I will come by your house and we'll wash your car.
So what we want you to do, if you're so inclined, head on over to RossandNez.com/iTunes, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, or 4 or 3 or 2, whatever you think.
No, we don't want 3s or 2s.
No, only 5.
Only 5s.
And then write a review, throw some superlatives in.
We would love you.
Say something nice about Nez, even if it's hard, and then, go on with your day.
Fight the feeling. Fight the urge not to say anything nice about Nez. I know it's a strong impulse. Just fight it for me. One time, fight it.
So we're talking
What the hell are we talking about?
I don't know. I wasn't even listening to you. But
Ross
we were talking offline about business, right? And that,
yes.
It's pretty cool how people in the live stream community have other things that they do besides live streaming. And we thought, why not have some people on and let them talk about what they do, and if they have a product they want to pitch or a service, and let them share that out. And so we have Carlos Phoenix with us, who has a new product, and we'd love to learn what you're doing. Hey, Carlos.
Hey,
great
Carlos,
to see you.
What's up, brother?
Hey guys, how are you, Nez?
On here,
we've been talking. I've been talking to Nez. I'm like, I can't wait to be on camera with you at some point in time.
Yeah,
and,
you're the only human being on the planet that's ever said that. By the way, most people can't wait to get off camera with me.
That's funny. Now I've been listening to you guys, and I thought about this creator thing, and I wanted to quickly show you the way the app apparently works is
cool.
And I don't know if you can full screen it so people can see, but
yeah, it's full screen.
Apparently it can only allow my personal pages. It doesn't let my business pages to go as far as a creator. So I'll have to look deeper into that and see how that works. But while I was watching you guys, there we are. We're live.
Hello. Okay.
So
you can watch the show. So you can watch the show within the app.
Apparently, because I've never been inside the app before, and that's what it's showing me now.
Oh, cool!
So that's us right now.
That's very really nice. Cool. Very nice. Ross and Nez are in the app. I mean,
we're actual creators. Who would have thunk it?
On day one, no less.
On day one, no less. Yes, we made it. We graduated finally.
So that's cool.
So Stephanie says you have to edit the category for your business page to video creator. So I guess if you change that category, and it's interesting. I made our the Ross and Nez Facebook page, and you can find that by going to RossandNez.com/Facebook. And I made that page a video creator page, which I didn't even know that was an option. Because it lets you also select like a video where you can send people instead of the send message button or subscribe button. So you could pick like a YouTube video or a Facebook video or a video on your website or whatever as your intro video. Or you could do, people do a lot of videos on YouTube for, their channel. What do you call those? Like the channel intro or channel. What's the name for those, Nez?
Outro.
Bumpers. Outro, channel, outro, intro.
Mid-roll.
That intro video. The channel.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a scientific name, Ross. You said it. It's not a...
The promo video for the channel trailer. That's it. It's the trailer.
Okay. You said it about 3 times. You're okay. Hey, Ross, do me a favor. Get a glass of water, will you?
Okay. So the channel... Okay, so... You could make a channel You know what? Never mind. Carlos has a new product, and he's going to tell us all about it. It's called Kapchr, and it helps you make your DSLR trick your computer, right, into thinking it's a webcam.
So, all right, simply put, it's a capture card. It's a capture dongle device. And what it does is it's a device that you connect through the HDMI of your video camera, your DSLR, your Xbox, your PlayStation, your laptop, anything that has an HDMI output. And what it does is it takes care of all the processing so that your computer is not going to struggle and try to recreate the image. So there's no lag, there's no delay, because it just thinks it's a standard webcam.
Right.
The difference between our product and a lot of other Kapchr type devices is that we also have audio input. And with that audio input, now you have total control of your audio. So you can have a mixer attached. You can have external microphones attached. And it's called Kapchr, Stephanie. And it's spelled Kapchr. So we got really creative on the spelling there. And so right now, what it does is you can have 2 or 3 of them, hook them up to your USB ports in your computer, and do a multi-camera production. And if you followed my timeline, you've seen that I've tested it on everything from Ecamm, BeLive. I've worked on it with every platform. In fact, let me see if I can quickly show you. I have it hooked up right now to my Apple TV. So with the Apple TV, for example, we're able to then demonstrate this beautiful screensaver that it has right now. But with this remote control, I'm able to basically show you a real-time view of whatever it's showing. And even here, I'm sure if we go into the Facebook app, at some point in time, there we are.
Oh, nice. Very nice. On the big screen, huh?
On the big screen, we're able to see us live, and there it is. So it's pretty cool to see like all the possibilities. But if you're a gamer, of course, you can hook it up to your Apple TV or your Xbox and then stream on Facebook, YouTube, or any of the live streaming platforms with whatever software you want to use. You can even use it directly into the Facebook browser and have it as the default webcam. So it's very flexible, very powerful, and very inexpensive.
Just in time for Black Friday, Carlos?
Exactly.
Okay, very cool.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And, it's called Kapchr. You can find it on Indiegogo.
Right.
Is there a separate any separate link or anything for it?
Yeah, what I'll do is
put it in the comments, Carlos.
Say it again. Oh yeah, I'll put it in the comments.
Put the link in the comments for viewers to check it out.
Yeah, and the idea is that live streamers like yourselves can improve your video quality with using your DSLR. Or
boy, do we need that!
Camera.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a video capture card on the planet, Carlos, that can really improve this right here, this mugshot. I'm not talking about you, Ross.
One of the other benefits is that it doesn't get hot. So we've used the latest processors in order to do all the processing.
Well, that's really cool.
Cool. Thanks, Carlos.
Carlos, you're awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So it's Kapchr, Kapchr. I'll put it back up on the screen. And again, you can find it on Indiegogo. And Stephanie Liu mentions that she's been using Camera Live with her DSLR for Ecamm Live, and looks like this has more features. It has this separate audio feed, and this is the link for what Stephanie has been using,
Stephanie,
which is cool. We'll check that out as well. So if you are in the live stream community, the podcast community, social media, or a fan of the show, and you've got a product that you're working on, we'd love to check it out and ask you a few questions from it about it and see how that works. So thanks again, Carlos, and it was awesome talking to you and talking to JennyQ and talking to Stephanie Liu. So what else is going on with you, Nez? Like, what else are you doing when it comes to live streaming with all these changes going on? Are you just keeping on, or are you like, okay, I'm going to go in a different direction with things? Or,
I've been really focused on, RossandNez, to be honest with you, lately. And I'm super. Yeah. I should be. Yeah. Thank you. I've got the attention span of a gnat. So, there's so much going on, and it's interesting what Jenny was talking about, and even Stephanie, sort of further kind of confirming the fact that Facebook and all these different big platforms need to catch up, with YouTube super chats, because I think you and I both know it would be a dream of ours to really kind of do this full time, right? We would love to. And we plan on doing it because we love it. But, you know, doing this as something that's a full-time gig, you know, I'm a writing professor. I'm sort of like a teach by day and leap tall buildings at night, you know, with my live stream. But
I know you do a lot.
Maybe actually leap tall pillows. That's about it at night. But you know, it's just showing that this is not a joke. You know, this is not a joke. And if you have a voice, if you have a purpose, and you have something to convey to an audience, you've got a platform. And there's so many platforms. You know, my Nez Nation live show has been put on hold. My Mindset live show has kind of been put on hold. I've been super excited and pumped and putting a lot of energy into RossandNez. And not to say that I'm, you know, kind of neglecting that, or those are finished. Those are other streams. And I love spontaneous streams. I love my Periscope. I love my YouTube live. But it's interesting that Facebook is now introducing something new that seems very similar to something else, kind of their sort of their dominant paradigm. If there's something out there that's working, let's just, you know, emulate it as best as we can and put our name on it.
Emulate, yes.
Say that again.
I said emulate.
Emulate. Yeah.
They do a lot of emulating.
Yeah, that's loosely, you know, said. Yeah, exactly. Loosely
but hey,
defined.
I mean, features aren't something that's, you know, feature isn't intellectual property protected, right? So if somebody does stories, you can do stories. You know, I mean, that's not the secret sauce that makes the engine run, right? No. I mean, it's just the feature. But clearly, you know, Facebook and Google have so much power and are just so huge. Yeah. And to think that you're going to make an impact by ignoring those two platforms, whether it's, and when we talk about Google, we're talking for video people and broadcasters, we're obviously talking about YouTube number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, but also even, you know, the podcast, we make sure that we put it on Google Play, you know, in addition to putting it on iTunes and TuneIn and some other places where I'm hoping to hear that we are up on soon. But, you know, that's Facebook. We're doing our lives on Facebook. We're posting our video on demand on YouTube. And there's one other big player in the whole scene, right? And that's Apple. And so we're putting our podcasts on iTunes. And absolutely. I mean, I think those are the three biggest players in this right now, right?
Right. And you know, Instagram Live, if Instagram Live is still pretty brand new, I mean, they're all brand new, let's be honest. They're all brand new. I mean, relatively speaking, if you look at the big picture, but you know, you're seeing a lot more content creators, or what I like to say, you know, video creators who are jumping into live. A lot of businesses are implementing and leveraging live video and live streaming. I had a client literally tell me yesterday, they said, Professor Nez, you decimated the competition. This is verbatim. Okay.
Wow.
He literally said this to me yesterday. We had a client meeting. You know, I do career coaching and consulting and marketing consulting. And he said, your video just was unbelievable, because I do a sort of like a instead of a pre-screen, you know how most coaches and consultants do this pre-screen questionnaire to screen their clients. Well, I do a video, and in my video, it's kind of long. It's longer than maybe it should be. It's about 8 minutes long. I screen all potential clients, prospective clients. And, you know, this guy had the best, I mean, to me, it's confirmation. And he said, I couldn't believe it. Like, I got your energy. I got your vibe. It personalized it. It made me feel who you are. It made me understand a little bit more about you. I got to see your face. And live video, I think, does that 10x, right? Even more so than pre-recorded video, because it's immediate. It's now. You can interact. You can engage. I don't think there's a more powerful tool on the planet for businesses, brands, companies, organizations, even solo artists or solo flyers, right? I think it's the greatest tool on earth right now.
I mean, I think that we could do the same show if we did it pre-recorded, right? And we just recorded a podcast or a video. Yeah. But there's something about the energy of having a live chat, about getting comments, about somebody putting something in the chat that you weren't expecting, or their reaction, and sensing what people are interested in, and then reacting to them. And it builds on the discussion. It's such a broader discussion because, nobody has all the answers and nobody knows all the good questions to ask. So there's always something going on in the chat that spurs me on to a topic, or, I don't know. When I worked in radio, you might have had a live audience, but they were invisible, right? You were just broadcasting out, and the audience decided whether or not they wanted to receive it. Yeah. Now you have an audience that's participating, and I find that it would be hard to just be in a room and thinking there's an audience out there, but they're not interacting with me, right? And that's why a lot of cool radio shows are actually bringing live streaming in, whether it's talking to the audience during the commercials, whether it's bringing in comments from the chat. I think what we're doing in a lot of ways resembles what people do in radio, but we're bringing that vibe to live streaming and taking advantage of the best that live streaming has to offer, which is the video and the chat and the ability for people to jump in with us on the spur of the moment on camera versus, just coming in either on a telephone or having to send a camera out to them or whatever. So I like what we're doing. I definitely want to keep doing more of these shows. This has been a blast, an absolute blast.
Ditto that, brother. Yeah, and I hope you guys out there let us know, what are some topics, what are some things that you're curious about? What would you like to see Ross and Nez, discuss on the show, or what kind of themes or ideas? We want to hear from you guys. Let us know, because literally this is we were joking earlier about spontaneous lives. This show, and Ross, correct me if I'm wrong, which, I know you like to do that a lot. This is basically a show that's evolving in real time. I mean, we don't know what the hell we're doing. Do we look like we know what we're doing? We don't know what we're doing.
We were in the sort of Be Live lobby, right? I mean, where it's sort of like this lobby area, green room before you go live, right? Yeah. And we're literally going, okay, we're going to talk about Twitter, we're going to talk about Facebook. Who can we talk to? Who's actually used the app?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, Stephanie is on top of things. JennyQ is on top of things. Stephanie did a video. JennyQ talked about it today. Mm-hmm. They're two of the people in the live streaming industry that at least I think we both admire most. Huge. It's like, let's get them on and see what they think about it. And again, Carlos has a product.
I like the snippets. I really do. Mm-hmm. I think the little chunks, because my show, this, Ross, my Nez Nation live show, it was me with the guest for an hour and a half, which, not to say that wasn't fruitful and that wasn't effective and it didn't have value, but I think that it's interesting to do something a little bit different and be a little more dynamic and have things more concise. And I think a show like this is warranted. I'd love to hear from you guys, and Ross, I want to know what you think about this too. I mean, sort of. I don't really care. But anyway, I want to
You should.
I want to hear from the audience more than anything. Ross, I know what you think. But here's the thing.
You do? What am I thinking right now, Nez?
I know exactly. You want me to tell you? Do you really want me to tell you?
No.
You're thinking, God, I'm so lucky this Nez guy decided to do a show with me.
Such a privilege. It is such a privilege. Thank God every evening before I go to bed.
It's a total privilege. It's either a privilege or a
curse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was
going to say it's a burden.
But it's interesting. It's made life interesting.
Let me tell you this. I think a show like this is warranted. You know why I think a show is warranted? Why, Nez?
Why, Nez? Why is it warranted? Yes, please tell me.
The social media landscape, because the content creative digital storytelling landscape, it's changing literally day by day, if not hour by hour, right? I mean, Facebook creators, where did this come from? Twitter verification controversy just happened. I think this kind of show with our twist, right, Ross? You and I, our kind of twisted twist, you could call it that. Maybe a modifier.
Don't get it twisted, Nez.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. Yeah, exactly. Boy, I got caught in a twist. Anyway, No more puns. But, you know, I think our approach to these ever evolving, constantly rapidly changing topics and ideas within this space, especially the live video and the live streaming space, very warranted. I want to say capital W warranted.
Okay. That's not.
I think I said warranted way too many times.
Yeah. Maybe there's a warrant out on Nez.
I know there probably is. Don't tell anybody.
But
hey, babe,
I mean, what I like that we're doing with the show, and I think this is what's different. And obviously, there's a million podcasts out there. You could listen. You could listen to podcasts your entire life and not catch every podcast, right? I mean. So how do you decide what to listen to, or how do you decide what to watch on live streaming? And, you know, I've loved doing Live Stream Stars, but that was a show where I booked the guests way ahead of time, and the topic was going to be what the guests' area of expertise and interest is. And what I think we're doing differently with this show, and differently from what a lot of other people are doing, because they're using the platform, if not to do interviews, they're often using it to teach something that they've determined they're going to teach or promote at a certain time, right? What we're doing is we're letting what's happening in the world of social media and live video and live streaming and business determine what we talk about. So the guests we brought on were people who could speak to what's going on today.
Yeah.
And the topics that we cover are based on what people are talking about, what we're interested in. And I think that's kind of, I mean, with everything changing, that's the way you stay on top of things. And that's the way you get, I think people want to listen to what they're thinking about. What do these guys think about what you know, they don't really care what we think, but it's an opportunity to give their opinion, right? But, you know, ask questions, give your opinion, tell us we're wrong, comment on this stuff, but let's discuss this amongst ourselves. Let's not do a show on 7 ways to optimize your Google Plus profile just because 3 years ago we decided that was on our content calendar or whatever.
Wait a minute. I would love a show about 7 ways to optimize Google Plus. Are you kidding me?
I hear it's coming. I hear it's the next.
I couldn't optimize Google Plus if you, yeah.
Yeah, Google can't optimize Google Plus.
Google can't optimize Google Plus. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be Facebook, right? That was Google's big
That's like trying to optimize Nez's sex appeal. It's impossible.
I wouldn't know.
No, I mean, you know, not to kind of go on about this, but yeah, I
go on, please. Let's beat that dead horse until he can't get up anymore.
I want to hear from you guys. I want you guys, and feel free to even personally DM me. I don't even care. I want to hear from you guys in the comments, you know, on our website, on, you know, leave some messages on our different channels. I want to hear from you guys, because I think that Ross and I could both agree, you know, that if the audience is digging it, if the audience is getting something out of it, and the audience is entertained, having fun, but also being informed, I think, and getting something that they can apply to their own lives, we got a hit. I mean, this can be a real giant leap for everyone. So
if the audience doesn't like it, I don't have to talk to you anymore.
That's actually kind of an incentive right there.
Please tell us you don't like it, so that way, you know, Nez doesn't have to deal with my nonsense anymore.
If that doesn't motivate you folks, I don't know what will.
Yeah. So this has been a fun show. I mean, Friday night, we know everybody stays in to watch Ross and Nez. Nobody has a social life or anything of interest. So
speak for yourself.
Yes.
By the way, that's a good thing to talk about, Ross.
And Friday night's obviously very important when people are listening to this on a podcast or YouTube. They want to know when it was recorded exactly, right? Like they're listening to this on the way to work Monday morning.
Or should we actually have a scheduled time? That's another thing too. That's interesting.
What time would people like to be here live and be part of the recording of the show?
Huge.
And
yeah,
you know, interact with us and our guests and everything?
Jenny, you're awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that would be huge. Like, what do you guys think about a perfect slot? Even though I love spontaneous, I love just doing it. I love just like,
Todd Bergen says, this is what old men do on Friday night in the digital age.
This is exactly right. That's exactly right. Yes. What else are we going to do?
Yeah.
So no, I think it'd be cool good to see you, Todd. It'd be cool to see what people think would be, let us know what perfect times, if there is such a thing, or just a range, because
perfect time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just that show that just
a commercial. Anytime is a perfect time for Ross and Nez.
Perfect time. That's exactly right. Yeah. Honey, I have a headache again. No, but here's the thing. I think that we could really get a good pulse on people if they can let us know. I really love the idea of you. Let's see what does Jennifer say.
Says you can do both, have a regular time and sometimes hop on spontaneously in addition to regular time.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think the spontaneous is where we get really loose. And I think the rigidity of having that sort of, okay, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're doing. This is what it tightens up the reins so much that it can come across. I don't know. I mean, call me crazy, but I'm kind of bored to death of mechanical, regimented shows. I really am. In every sense of the word, podcasts, every medium, live streams. I'm just bored to death. I'm not crazy about them. I know there's something to it, but at least maybe I know there's a lot of value to them, but I don't know if I want to do a show like that,
Right,
maybe if Ross, you disagree, maybe this is the beginning of the end. I don't know.
The beginning of the end of the show.
Jennifer says you're crazy.
The season finale. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night and good luck.
Yeah, good night and good luck. This is RossandNez signing off. It's been a great run.
For the final time. Thank you. Thanks to all the fans around the world.
You know what's really sad is I think every show we've talked about it being the beginning of the end.
We'll probably be doing that in 6 years from now.
I was just going to say, maybe 50 years from now, we'll still be saying that.
Yeah, like Larry David once said when he was talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm, that every season, right, when he's in the stress of doing the show and it's busy, he convinces himself that it's going to be the last season, and that's how he gets that's how he gets through the season, and then he gets through it and he takes time off, and then he starts looking forward to doing another season.
Well, he just did
the same way about like live streaming in a lot of ways. Like when I'm in the middle of towards the end of a season of Live Stream Stars, I'm like, God, I got to get my time back. I got so much to do and everything else. And then I finish it and I'm like, okay, I don't have to do that for a while. And then soon it's like, all of a sudden there's all these new people that I want to talk to or people I haven't had on. And it's like, I got to have that person on and do a show with them. So, I don't know what that has anything to do with what we were talking about, but it's an interesting story.
Hey, Ross, do me a favor. Go back to sleep, will you? No, okay. But here's the thing is Larry David just did a brand new season and he'd been 5 years off. And here was the promo. And I'm a big fan of Larry David. I know my wife hates Larry David, but I'm a fan. I can relate to his little.
I'm in the middle.
I know you are. I mean, he's a schmuck, but he's a funny schmuck. Comparatively.
Well put.
Here's the thing, though. He said in the promo, there was a promo like he had a new season on just recently. Right. I said, "Where you been for 5 years?" And he said, "Oh, just doing nothing." And like, "Why are you doing another season?" He said, "I just felt like it."
Right.
And I just love that simplicity. And Todd says, "Word to Nez on regimented shows." I love that simplicity. I love that. Now he has $200 million in the bank, so it's easy, right, for him to say that.
Yeah, he doesn't have to work.
He doesn't have to do anything. But I don't think the impetus for doing this show is anywhere near that for Ross and I. I think I can speak for both of us. This is a rare opportunity. I can speak for both of us.
Yes, please do speak for me.
We love Ross. Why don't I represent you everywhere you go?
That's good.
I could be your representative. I can take you places, kid.
I'll just follow along.
I'll take you right to the bottom.
He's going to take me to the top. Oh, my God.
I'm going to take you to the top. Down goes Frasier. Down goes Frasier. No, but I mean,
it's not a 1 hour television spectacular.
That's actually really good. That's a good Howard Cosell. That's a really good Howard Cosell. Wow, I'm actually kind of shocked right now. You actually did an impression.
Nez. I said, Nez, would you stop talking already? It's enough. It's enough. It's Friday night. The people want to do stuff.
I'm too pretty not to talk.
Off talking, and then he rises up again. Hey, I'll never forget the highlight where he goes, O.J. Simpson is fine a man as he is a football player. Yeah. I think he got that one wrong.
Yeah, good thing he died before that whole thing went down. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think the love of doing this trumps everything for both of us. And we've got better things to do on a Friday night, contrary to what Todd Live says.
Oh, I don't.
We love doing this, but we love doing this, so we make time for this. And I don't think that you could be this engaged if you didn't have. I mean, there's easier ways to start. I mean, I always say this to my students who are like, "I want to write for money." I go, "There's easier ways to starve to death. Why do you want to write? Why do you want to write for money? Like that makes no sense."
Right? People used to go broke just by sitting around and having an easy life. Yeah, like, now they can work. They can work themselves to death.
You're not going to make it, man. You're not going to make it if that's your impetus. I'm sorry. I mean, you're just not.
So cool. So this was a lot of fun. While there's enough time left on a Friday night, I'm actually going to make something else happen. So great to talk, Inez. And
you got something better to do?
I do. Anything.
Clip your toenails?
Yeah, I'm going to watch paint dry later. I got a front row seat, too. I had to pay a couple $100. They're going to be having the paint dry, yeah. Yeah.
Next on RossandNez, Ross is going to watch paint dry. Tune in next week, folks.
All right. This was fun. Thanks to JennyQ for joining us. Of course, she's the author of Leverage Live Streaming to build your brand. Start, master, and monetize live video with insider tips and tricks. JennyQLive.com. Also, thanks to Stephanie Liu. HeyStephanie.com. Check her out. And, of course, Carlos Phoenix with the Kapchr card. And it's called Kapchr, Kapchr. Look that up on Indiegogo if you'd like to learn more about it. So we will be back sometime since it's going to be spontaneous. You need to subscribe to our Facebook page and definitely subscribe to our podcast, Ross and
You'll never miss an episode if you subscribe to the podcast.
iTunes, RossandNez.com/iTunes. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you, guys.